Hi everyone, thanks for tuning in to the second vlog here with me at Reclaiming the Wild. And I wanted to just take a couple moments today to talk about why body trust is so important to me and why it resonates with me so much. I chatted a little bit in my first vlog about the origins of body trust and where it came from in Portland, Oregon with the amazing Hillary Kanavi and Dana Sturt event at Be Nourished. And yeah, I guess I just want to dive a little bit into what it means to me and how it's really helped me to reclaim a lot of the pieces of myself that I have denied for most of my life. I was asked to speak at a conference about a month and a half ago, and one of the questions that they actually sprung on our panel was, if you could go back in time and tell your 20-year-old self anything, what would it be? And my answer was that your body and your life is first and foremost for your experience of this world, not for someone else to experience you. And I first had this revelation for myself probably a few years ago, as I have been socialized, as a lot of those of us who were brought up female have, that our bodies are not to be trusted, right? We're always supposed to keep them in check, stay in control of them, size, appearance, how we conduct ourselves. And the other that, our desires aren't really important. And as women, our job is to show up and fulfill the desires of others, the needs of others. And so, having this realization that I didn't need to perform, that this life, was my playground and for me to enjoy, was pretty powerful, but also pretty transformational for me. And, this realization really came about through a lot of the body trust work and practice that I had been doing. So, for me, I started with body trust through some of the intuitive eating principles. That's kind of how I came to this work, and then it soon became about so much more, because as I learned from Be Nourished, the way that we do food is often the way that we do life, and so our relationship with food is kind of, in a way, like a microcosm of the macrocosm. And so I took all the courses that I could take with them, and eventually then went on to do their provider training. And throughout all of that, really started to I guess kind of reinvent my relationship with my body, which was a really big unlearning process, followed by lots of observing and being curious and relearning just how to be in relationship with myself. And one of the things that body trust is really, really rooted in is this idea that we want to work for and with the body, not to and on the body. So it's looking at how can we do the things in our life that best support us in this moment and where we see ourselves down the road. And instead of, doing things that we should do that are good for us and approaching things with this kind of bootstrap, restraint, restriction, control mentality, it's really all about finding pleasure and finding joy and understanding that the healing that we're looking for, this wholeness that a lot of us long for is already there, and we're just denying ourselves access to it by denying ourselves the very things that bring us pleasure and joy in life. And so, it's been an interesting journey for me, someone who is quite task-oriented, very much has been about, play is only for when all the work is done in my life. It's been hard for me to kind of unravel some of those tendencies and start to really dive into a body trust practice, but it's been unbelievably rewarding. And so, on a daily basis, I continue to get curious about how I'm relating to myself and how that impacts how I relate to others, and how I can continue to show up for myself in ways that support who I am, knowing that no matter what, I'm here, I'm in a body, and I'm worthy, right? My worth is not determined by what that looks like. And I don't need to look outside of myself for the answers. I have all the wisdom contained within this body, within all of this experience, this life that I've lived, that I need in order to make the choices that are going to take me in the right direction. And I believe that's true for all of us. One of my favorite quotes is by Naira Wahid. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right, but the quote is that you'll find your way, it's in the same place as your love. And that really and truly has been what this body trust practice has been about for me. It's been about learning first and foremost what I love, what brings me joy, because I was so disconnected from it. I had no idea. What brings me joy? What brings me happiness? What makes me feel good? And then trusting that if I follow that, it's going to take me where I need to go. Trusting that if I listen to the wisdom, the cues, and the sensations of my body, that it has the answers. Trusting that I know how to take care of myself. I don't need an expert to tell me. And trusting that my worth isn't defined by what I look like and how my body moves and shows up in this world. So coming back to the body, working with and for the body, listening to the body, honoring the body as a source of wisdom, and recognizing that that's just as valuable as, well, I would say if not more valuable than any other information that we have access to. So thank you so much for tuning in. I will be here again doing a Facebook Live at the end of July. We're going to dive into one of the core elements of a body trust practice. We're going to be talking about rooting self-care practices and weight neutrality, what that looks like, what it means, and how others have stepped into that practice. So until then, I wish you a wonderful few weeks. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out. I'm happy to chat. I offer complimentary 30-minute sessions for anyone who's looking to learn more about body trust and this practice and what I do. Bye.